Did you know that water has memory? Have you ever thought about how water might truly reflect your emotions? What hidden secrets does a simple glass of water hold? In 1988, French immunologist Jacques Benveniste claimed water has memory, publishing research that diluted substances to pure water still had therapeutic effects. His work wasn't accepted, losing funding. In 2008, Nobel laureate Luc Montagnier supported this, showing water from HIV DNA solutions emitted signals, replicable in non-HIV solutions, suggesting water memory. Unfortunately, the experiment and argument did not gain social recognition. Jacques lost his research funding. 20 years later, in 2008, French pathologist Luc Montagnier, who won the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine, proposed a theory that supported Jacques. His experiments showed that water molecules in HIV DNA solutions can emit specific electromagnetic signals. This signal can be replicated in solutions without HIV, which further proves that water has memory. So, if we take it a step further and assume that water has memory, then it must have existed for 4.5 billion years. With 70% of the Earth covered in water, it could transcend time and space, recording vast information from the universe. Is that even possible? The German scientist Planck, who proposed quantum mechanics, once said that his final conclusion from studying atoms was that there is no such thing as matter. The universe is the foundation of all matter. Planck believed that the universe is like an invisible vast electric network, and any material phenomenon in the universe, including water, can pick up the electromagnetic waves emitted by human thoughts. This is the power of thought. Scientists have conducted countless experiments on the relationship between thoughts and the material environment, with research reports published in avant-garde journals before 1993. American military scientists were the first to collect DNA and tissue samples from subjects' mouths, then took these samples to another room in the same building. Remarkably, even when not in the same space, changes in the subject's emotions could influence the DNA's response, causing it to tighten and relax. The scientists then took the DNA 480 kilometers away, and the results remained consistent. The DNA seemed to still be connected to the human body in some way. This confirmed that DNA can be affected by human emotions, regardless of time and distance. On the other hand, Russian quantum biologists Vladimir Poponin and Peter Karayev conducted an experiment where they randomly placed the fundamental particles of the universe, photons, in a test tube along with human DNA samples. The result was astonishing. The photons in the test tube no longer scattered randomly but instead arranged themselves in a regular pattern as the DNA was introduced. Therefore, when you combine these three independent and intriguing experiments, you'll find they all tell the same story. Within each of us lies a force that isn't bound by the current laws of physics. Human emotions can influence DNA, and DNA in turn affects the photons that make up our world. This confirms that everything is interconnected, forming a single life community. Our thoughts have a direct impact on this world. Following in the footsteps of scientific pioneers and referencing Dr. Masaru Emoto's water experiments, the Huiyang Laboratory began conducting water crystallization experiments in 2010, motivated by the premise that water has memory. Over the course of more than 400,000 experiments, comparisons, and analyses, along with continuously updating methods and instruments suitable for the lab, we carefully placed distilled water in a soundproof, closed environment, free from external influences, to interact with various thoughts and feelings through photos, words, images, sounds, smells, touch, and the complex emotions of humans. Over the past 9 years, we've discovered many astonishing facts about the relationship between thoughts and water. What results do we see when water is exposed to photos and words reflecting different emotions? The innocent, cheerful smiles of children make the water crystals smile too. For a frail child, the water crystals seem to sense the suffering caused by natural disasters and war. Compliments and kindness towards others also bring immense joy to the water crystals. Intense jealousy causes water crystals to split in an ugly, chaotic, and disordered way, reflecting the negative emotions that surround them. But what if we let water come into contact with music, a universal language that transcends barriers? Would it dance along with the tunes, swaying to the rhythm and melody? Songs filled with love, compassion, and warmth make the water crystals display a brilliant, human-like glow, shimmering with vibrant colors and intricate patterns. A lively wedding melody, full of joy and celebration, conveys the happiness and excitement of newlywed couples embarking on a new journey together. Please don't hesitate to give us a thumbs up, share your thoughts, and spread the love by sharing this video with your friends and family. So how does water respond to smell? The deep red fragrance of roses at night is accurately reflected in the water crystals. Even the scent of nicotine pollution in the environment is sensed by the water crystals. What happens when water comes into contact with various objects? We soak the items in water and observe carefully what changes do we see in the intricate and complex crystal formations. The beautiful shape of sweet apples and the delicious form of grapes are faithfully presented in the water crystals in a fascinating way. The water crystals perfectly showcase the shape of starfruit, and the center of the crystals resembles the core of a sunflower. The beautiful sunflower embraces the water, causing the water crystals to bloom as well. The previous experiments have confirmed the memory of water, so can it truly reflect the complex emotions of animals and humans in a remarkable manner? This is during a mother's confession at an abortion ceremony, where the deep-seated feelings of guilt cause the water crystals to display the resonance of a crying mother in a profound way. The distorted water crystals seem to sense the fear and helplessness of a chick being slaughtered, with the shape of the chick appearing in the center of the crystals, resembling chicken feet. The water crystal experiments not only show that water can remember complex emotions but also reveal many touching results in a significant way. The power of maternal love is evident in the mother frog, who, despite all dangers, kicks away the dirt to help her trapped baby back into the water. The water crystals seem to capture the anxious gaze of the mother frog in a heartwarming manner. They tell us that a mother's embrace is always warm and safe. Devoted son Chen Shinying suffered a tragic accident as a child when he accidentally touched a high-voltage power line, resulting in the amputation of both his hands. Despite losing his hands and coming from a poor family, he still manages to shoulder all the daily chores and care for his mother. His touching filial piety makes the water crystals radiate with a glow of confidence. Within the beautiful water crystals, there's a fascinating depiction of a feeding spoon with a heart on it, showcasing the hard-working spirit of Chen Shinying. Since thoughts can influence water crystals and the DNA of cells, could they also affect changes in the body? After 9 years of countless tests and experiments, the Huiyang laboratory has decided to take a further step by applying the power of thought in the treatment of diseases. Nowadays, science is paying a lot of attention to this. A foreign scientist wrote a book called The Secret of Thought Power, which tells us that the energy of thought is incredible. This concept has been mentioned in both the large and small sutras of Buddhism. The Buddha's teachings are quite simple. When the heart is united, selflessness is achieved. This unity of heart refers to the power of thought, where heart means intention. Generally, we ordinary folks tend to scatter our thoughts, much like light that disperses in all directions. If you shine a light on a piece of paper, it spreads out everywhere.
If you concentrate this light to a point, it can penetrate steel. It has such immense power, called aurora. The smaller the area of that boundary, the greater the power. The Buddha tells us in the scriptures that as long as we can focus our thoughts on one point, we can accomplish anything in this world. Regarding our own physical and mental health, scientists have discovered that when a person is ill, even with something serious like cancer, they can heal themselves without treatment. So how does that work? It's all about thought power. In China and abroad, there are people with good intentions who forget about their illness and never think about it. So, those sick cells naturally return to normal. Over the years, in Hawaii, there's a very effective healing method that has reportedly cured thousands of people. The practitioner doesn't even need to meet the patients. They just need to see the medical records and know where the illness is located. It doesn't matter if they are thousands of miles apart. With this intention, they can heal the illness. How do they do it? They think about the oneness, just like what the Buddha taught. They think, we are one. If a part of me, like my stomach, is sick, I correct my thoughts and heal that part. There's no need for medicine or anything else. They just get better. I've heard that in recent years, many people in Japan and the US are learning this method, which is quite brilliant. Today, the whole world has become like this because, over the last 300 to 400 years, we've focused all our energy on science, discarding the old methods taught by our ancestors and religions, which has led to so many problems. Now, quantum physicists are coming to save us, revealing the true causes of our current chaos and diseases. It's our own unkind hearts that are to blame. Indeed, our bodies are a reflection of our inner state. The mountains, rivers, and even the stars in space are all part of our living environment. When thought power is truly concentrated, problems can be resolved and things can return to normal. thought power is indeed limitless. The idea of using thought to heal isn't new. Dr. Hugh Len from Hawaii uses ancestral methods and the Ho'oponopono technique to heal patients through intention and visualization. Ho'oponopono means to make things right, combining the correct understanding with the correction of errors. Ancient Hawaiians believed that all problems in the world stem from people's subconscious replaying past memories. So, by repeating or thinking the phrases "I'm sorry," "Please forgive me," "Thank you," "I love you," we can clear the information in our subconscious, release that negative energy, and return to a state of inner peace. In this regard, the Huiyang Laboratory also focuses on "I'm sorry."
Please forgive me. I sincerely thank you very much indeed.
I'm sorry, please.
I love you. The water crystallization experiment confirmed that these four phrases indeed have restorative powers. What Dr. Xiaolan mentioned about clearing corresponds to what Buddhism teaches about letting go. By letting go of all delusions, we can restore our instincts. With the foundation of thought power and healing, the Huiyang Laboratory decided to use the chanting of the Amitabha Buddha, which is commonly recited by Chinese people and represents health, happiness, freedom, and wisdom as the method for our experiment. Let's test what kind of changes a good thought can bring to illness. We asked participants suffering from different ailments to take water home and chant Amitabha Buddha to a daily, focusing intently for 10, 20, 30, and even 60 days to compare the effects on the water crystals. I dropped out of school to teach, and back in 1996, a colleague mentioned that I looked very thin and dark lately, asking if I had any issues. So, I went for a checkup, and the doctor said I had thyroid problems, so I took thyroid medication for 9 months. After that, in 1998, one night I suddenly couldn't urinate, and it was very painful. The next day, I went for a checkup, and the doctor said I needed to be hospitalized immediately because I had acute nephritis. By 2001, I went for a nuclear magnetic resonance scan, and the doctor said my kidney function wasn't great. I realized something was wrong and went for further tests, only to find out I was in the 4th stage of kidney disease. In 2017, a senior sister told me that our Mandarin-speaking mental health expert was conducting experiments, and I thought, why not give it a go? Initially, I didn't doubt their methods, but I also didn't fully believe it. They provided me with water to take home, and I would chant Amitabha Buddha to it for half an hour every day. After my chanting session, I would start recording my observations, noting my mental state during the chanting, whether it was chaotic or calm, and if there were any sounds around me. These records served as references for the lab to see if my changes were influenced by external factors. They not only looked at the text, but also how I used the water. After 3 days, I noticed my water crystals were quite ugly, with gaps in irregular shapes, and in the center, there were 2 kidney shapes appearing. I was curious about this and wondered how kidneys could show up. Later, I saw a photo where a fish shape appeared, with 2 eyes, and a mouth, which amazed me even more. I thought, how could a fish shape come out of this? So, I discussed this with a junior brother. I then recalled that when I was a child, my health was quite poor, and my mum always said that if I ate fresh fish bones, it would help me recover. So, she would buy fresh fish bones to make soup for me. For my health, I was essentially killing fish. We would prepare the fish, and after cleaning it, she would sell me the bones. I remember the saying that a person's illness is caused by killing. I pondered why I had such beautiful crystals, but my body wasn't showing obvious improvement. The senior sister asked me, "Do you bless your blood? Do you express gratitude and love for it?" I realized I had never had that kind of dialogue with my body. From then on, I started talking to my body for half an hour every day, saying, "I'm so sorry for not taking good care of you. Please forgive me. Thank you for being with me for 70 years, serving others. This illness has helped me reflect on my actions and correct my thoughts. Thank you. I love you, and I hope you can help me recover." After about a week of this dialogue, I noticed some changes.